Hello and good morning, my people. Today I will make a video about breaking generational trauma. So, first we need to understand what is generational trauma. And it is a repeating circle of behavior that is recreated and transferred from parent to child. So, narcissistic parents try to recreate their own parents in their children. And thus, a circle is created, an abusive circle is created, a circle of suffering and trauma that that goes over generations and just sticks in that family. And Professor Sam Vaknin even claims that it is a discussion or a concern that this at the moment is like a pandemic that even might fall on the whole human race. So it is on a big scale happening. All right. You also have to understand how the individuals that do this, what their traits and attributes are and why they do what they do, because they can't do better. And see, these people are unable to do introspection, which means, they have been abused, of course, rejected in childhood. At some point it began, right? And it is a defensive mechanism. They change their personality fundamentally, and they are unable to introspect, which means they cannot adjust to their life, to their environment, to their situation over time, which means they never change in some way and they are stuck. So narcissism is not a person, it's not only, cannot only be described as a personality disorder, but a post-traumatic condition. So they are in a post-traumatic condition for their whole life, which disables them to do introspection, which disables their whole development, and thus they have to be abusive or toxic to everybody around them, because if you cannot change yourself and you cannot forgive and you have a wrong concept about what love is, it means that you will always be a pain to anyone around you, especially open and loving, giving, or people who are not only selfish, right? So and also you need to know, well, I can't help to describe it other than that it is a very spiritual thing. To, if you decide to do this, if you speak to yourself and say, well, here it stops, I want to break generational trauma, you will be attacked from all sides of all the family parts that are involved, no matter which side or whatever. And as an empath, and let me go on like this. See, why it's spiritual. I'm saying, you know, I never thought I would start reading Bible, okay? Or coming so close to God as I am now. And when you read about Jesus, okay, you will find out that this is an empath, an empathetic person. This is the definition of that. A person full of love that is forgiving and preaching a very the definition of what intoxicity is. And for me, this is normal. I thought everybody is like that, okay? I thought everybody basically is like that. I thought that is normal. But the truth is, and I had to find this out the hard way, almost nobody is like that, okay? That is the truth. And now, these people, I observed the behavior of two persons, and I told them openly, because at that point I didn't know what narcissism is or generational trauma or whatever, and I told them, the way you introduce yourself into a social structure, if I would translate this to biological life, this is cancer, because cancer grows into a tissue, a healthy tissue, but does not communicate with the cells outside of it and says, well, here's my place, here you begin, you know, this is liver, this is the heart, this is the lungs, and my place is here, and I grow to this size and stop. So it's a miracle how it works when life healthy, in a healthy way, finds his proportion, his size, his shape, and goes exactly to that size it needs to be. But cancer grows into something and grows and grows and grows and never stops, right? And the funny thing, it's not funny, right, is that in terms to describe cancer, the word malignant is being used, and the same word is being used to describe narcissistic, you know, a certain form of narcissism, malignant narcissism. And I didn't even know about what narcissism is at the time when I described that. So you need to know that these personalities, they grow in a social, healthy environment like cancer or a fungi in a healthy tree, okay? And what they do is they extract their supply, and they make the people that are healthy, they take from them and traumatize them they have a lot of strategies to do that, but it's basically manipulation, all right? And if you get to know all the there's 1,000 of strategies. I can't really go into that detail now, but they plant a lot of hooks under your skin, so to say, to get you into a fight and flight state, which will reduce your capabilities as a human being and make you... The goal is actually to make you from an empath that uses all 3 stages of the brain, also the highest layers, and being on a very high level of everything, linguistics, social competence, whatnot, to a low level of like a narcissist. So targets that are abused, they become zombie. The goal is to get them zombified and traumatized. You know, the narcissist is a pathologically reduced version of a human being, so to say. I'm not sugarcoating here. And they are envious on the people who are complete or over their level. And these people, like Jesus, I told you, an empath, they don't compete. Jesus never compared himself to others. But a lot of people compare themselves to him or say, I am the Messiah, you know. And by this is a violation, right? But Jesus would never go and say, well, you know, It's not in their nature to compete, all right? But narcissists always compete in order to drag people down to their level and get into their mind. So, yeah, you need to understand this, how these things work, okay? And yeah, if you go on this assignment, this will be a bigger a bigger mission, I tell you. Because you not only heal yourself, you decide to stop something very big. But yeah, I just want to give you that information on the way, so you understand what you're dealing with, how these people act. And yeah, this topic is very huge, but the video is now long enough. I just want to give you this small taste of it, right? Good journey.